Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. It's scoring the players' time as Newcastle have beaten Brentford not by 1 goal, not by 2 goals, not by 3 goals, not by 4 goals.
Here forever, mate.
5 goals to 1.
It was actually by 4 goals though.
But it was 5 goals to 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but you said by a certain numbers.
It
was
5 goals to 1, that's all I'm saying.
Can't get the staff these days.
Right, Jonathan Bruno has left. It is the score and the players for Newcastle's comprehensive victory. I'm sure we can all agree on that. Over Thomas Frank's Brentford. This afternoon, we have Michael, we have Fordey, and we have Ramsey, the Irish guy himself, is here. He's out of his massive office and massive house just to speak to us here on Newcastle Fans TV. So make sure you give him a like, give us a like if you want, because that'd be absolutely brilliant. All I want in the comments is just Bruno. In the comments, capital letters, Bruno with loads of O's, and just tell us how mint he is, will you please? Because that'd be fantastic. Ramsey, I'm going to let you start off. Nick Pope in the middle of our goal. Let's be honest, apart from the penalty, he had a couple of times where he needed to be used in terms of one big save in the second half, but comfortable afternoon. We're getting used to saying this, aren't we?
Well, do you know what's funny? Yes, it was comfortable, but I didn't actually think it was going to be when Brian Mbemo hit the shot right at him and he spilled into his own net. I thought that was a hangover from the England mistake against Germany, and I thought, oh shit, it has got into him. Like, we've seen so many England goalies like Rob Green and Scott Carson and the likes, they make a mistake in international duty, and because of the social media pressure, even back in the days of Scott Carson, it absolutely destroyed them for the rest of their career, and it did. Rob Green, massive, and I thought that could be the case with Pope when the Mbeumo shot slipped in off his knee. I think,
I think he got a hand to it, but he should have. It was right next to him.
But no, you're right. It was very comfortable after that, and he was easy afternoon's work for him, and I'm absolutely delighted for him because I thought, imagine we go 1-0 down to Brent, and he's done, and he's made a cock up there, but no, he was absolutely fine.
What would you give him today, scoring wise?
Well, he didn't have much to do, so I'd say 7 out of 10. Yeah, he was absolutely fine. And just thank God that Mbeumo goal didn't stand, and other than that, 7, absolutely 7 out of 10,
7 out of 10 for Nick Pope. Remember, you can download OneFootball. This is sponsored by OneFootball, this video as well, at the latest, which OneFootball just tell me, because there is a tea time kickoff. It is Brighton 0, Tottenham 1, Harry Kane with the goal. So big thanks to OneFootball for that. They'll tell you all the latest on everything in regards to the football in terms of Premier League, Championship, Champions League, Europa League, every league. Ramsey watches every league, so you can tell you everything in regards to OneFootball. Fordey, welcome back. It's been a little while since we've spoken.
You missed me, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
Well, a little.
I know you lot did as well. The voice of reason, remember that? Voice of reason.
Voice is something, but I don't know if it was reason. But I'll tell you what you can tell me about. I want you to tell me about Dan Burns' performance. Firstly, what would you give him? Well, this might be interesting in the comments. Did you agree? What Fordey's little noises? What would you give him score-wise, and what do you think of his performance this afternoon?
I know, listen, it was a positive game, but at the same time, what was it, going by your words, Michael Jordan?
Oh, yeah, that's what he's trying to do, just reenact the Michael Jordan kind of...
I mean, it was harsh. The handball was harsh. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but what are you doing up there, man? You're tall enough as it is, like, for goodness sake. But, listen, comfortable game today, barring the little mistake, obviously giving away a penalty, as you do. But... I was even a bit surprised that we still went with the same back four that we did in the previous game.
Would you change the winning side?
Look, it's arguments for both, innit? Why would you change the winning side, albeit against Fulham, against a 10-man Fulham? But, you got your boy, Matt Targett, on the bench, an actual out-and-out left-back.
Also, you'll tell me you want Matt Targett in the team now?
No, I said your boy. That's why I put your boy in there. Dan Burn, he does what he does. Yeah, I still like Dan Burn in the centre of defence, not as an out-and-out left-back, because, let's face it, pace is not there.
So what you're trying to say is you like Dan Burn in the middle?
Hey, don't try and put words into my mouth, Johnny boy. Don't try that, man. Don't try that. But yeah, I like him as a centre half, not in the middle.
What would you give him today?
Give him a 7.
7 for Dan Burn.
Yeah, he'd get a little 7.
I think Michael wants to probably disagree with that. I'll let you quickly disagree.
I'm going to quickly challenge that, and I'm going to say 5. I thought it was
5. I thought I was harsh.
I thought he was very poor today. He was
5 harsh.
Yeah, no. I think he was the worst player in our starting 11 by quite far. I thought he was found out at least on 2 or 3 occasions that first 45. I'll take a 6 at a push, but Seven is.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be generous. I didn't want the people in the comment section to get to me because I was saying, "Oh, you're too harsh, Fordey. You're too harsh." But this guy, if we're going on to this guy now, he's the new Fordey now. That's it.
What's the average? 6 is the starting point.
Yeah.
And see where they work from there. 7 is they've played very well. 8, they've done something exceptional. Dan was found out on a couple of occasions, and it could have been a couple more.
Michael Jordan,
and then the handball.
Geordie Jordan.
Off day for Burn, but it didn't matter really. So there we go.
Listen, comment sections get onto him this time. I was trying to be generous. Dan Burn, if you're watching, I was trying to be generous, but this guy, 6.
Yeah, don't come for me, please.
Yeah, Dan Burn. I'll tell you where he lives later.
Your rating doesn't really matter, Michael, because it was Fordey's rating, so it was 7 out of 10 for Dan Burn this afternoon, even though Newcastle won by 5 goals to 1. And Dan Burn's getting shit. That's how bad. That's how good or bad, depending on how you see it from a Newcastle fan point of view. But Mike, I'm going to let you continue with our centre half, Sven Botman. I love Sven Botman. Like he looks like he barely gets tested. He barely breaks sweat by the sound of it. But
it's like a Rolls Royce. He's so supreme. He just stands there.
Yeah, guys, hold on. Let's not take it too ahead of ourselves.
It's all right because he's one Botman playing.
And Brentford that he's played well. Come on.
What's the title of this video?
Hold on.
What's the title of this video? Scoring the players against Brentford.
No, but you like flipping out. It's like you're getting the wank sock out because he had a good game against Brentford. Like they played one up top.
Yeah.
That's it. Relax.
To be fair though, Ivan Toney is a very good centre forward, and he's made other defenders look very poor this season, and he's going to be on the cusp of that England squad. And fair play to him. And he didn't do much today. To be fair, I think Botman had a very good game. He commanded it with share. He looked very, very solid back there. I'm 7-8.
Well, give us a number.
8.
8 out of 10 for Sven Botman this afternoon. I'm going to continue.
How many beers you had, Michael?
At least 12.
Okay. See, okay. Michael's been on the cans. It's the 1 year anniversary, people. He's allowed to.
It is the 1 year anniversary, and actually, I should mention a big shout out to War Flag. Some fantastic displays. Deader Than a Dead Thing from Deadline is the best, but the actual Surfer flag. Oh, it was absolutely incredible. So a big shout out to War Flags. Well done for everybody involved in regards to that, because it was certainly very, very impressive this afternoon. Yeah, Fabian Schär for me. I wouldn't go as high as 8 for Fabian Schär. I thought Sven Botman was slightly better, but Ivan Toney for me, yes, he scored the penalty, but didn't really have many chances on goal today. So I think that's kind of like a job well done when you look at it like that. Obviously the penalty is the penalty, but I thought Fabian Schär was fine.
What?
Yeah.
Did you not see the goal that Mbembo scored? It was his mistake. No,
it's irrelevant now.
Didn't count, did it?
It's irrelevant.
No, but again, okay.
Chalked off.
It's irrelevant.
Clearly they
were. Keep going.
No, because we watched it. We got to see the replays of Schär messing up multiple times. Luckily, he's a fraction offside. Otherwise,
so he held his line. So he did well.
He held his line.
Did he hold his? Hold on, was it offside?
He fucked up.
Was it offside?
He fucked up.
Was it offside?
Yeah, of course it was offside.
Well, there you go.
Monetization.
There we go. There we go.
Sorry, he effed up. Sorry.
No more ads in this video.
Was it offside? It was offside. So Brentford didn't go 1-0 up. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. I don't think it was as good as Sven Botman, but a comfortable afternoon for the Swiss international. And Kieran Trippier's next up for you, Ramsey. An assist. He's comfortable. He's just the perfect right back for Newcastle United, isn't he? Brilliant.
What a fullback. He is. I would go as far as...
He doesn't bottle it either, does he?
No, and honestly, that first time cross in for Bruno's goal, unbelievable. I don't know how Tottenham got rid of him. I don't know why they binned him off to Atletico Madrid for a pittance. What it was, about 10 million quid or something like that? Honestly, Daniel Levy was offering around to Europe teams on the continent, Napoli, teams like that. He had one poor season under Pochettino. That was it. He is...
So
like Arsak had said, he's the complete right back. He's so composed. He's versatile. He can play left if we need him to go on the left. He's crossing. Honestly, I know everybody loves Bruno, but Trippier is my favorite signing. I think he's incredible, to be honest.
If Bruno's the best signing, is Trippier the most important signing from the last 12 months?
He's the catalyst, isn't he? He's the one that got everything started. Like, oh, let's take him seriously now. Like they've got Trippier, England current international, not like one of these, journeymen sort of thing. But yeah, he is like the most important signing that ended up getting the Bruno signing, ended up getting who else we signed after that. So.
And I think that puts everything into perspective, because you know, when we got the takeover, people thought, oh, it was going to be like Man City. We'll sign a Robinho, you know that kind of marquee signing. Like, even I thought we were going to get Eden Hazard as the first one. But no, we go and get Kieran Trippier, a sensible, you know, a clever signing, someone that's actually useful for now. Not this, you know, brand who's going to sell loads of shirts for commercial value. No, it's an actual quality player.
And you know, when you always see those best 11s as well, like people always say, oh, the best Newcastle 11 and stuff like that. Like he gets in there because in terms of right backs, who's his competition?
Oh, there's no competition. There's no
competition. or Warren Barton. There's
no competition in terms of right now, is there? But what would you give Trippier today?
I'd give him an 8 solely for that cross in for onto Bruno said, unbelievable. Yeah, give him an 8. Yeah, he was really good today.
Do you know what his leadership skills is just second to none? By the way,
he's just so calm, and you watch him play football. It's like it's effortless as well, and he brings that to the back four that. We don't concede that many goals. It's Newcastle United, and he's integral to that. So yeah, 8 all the way.
Yeah, brilliant.
8 all the way for Kieran Trippier. Tell us how good that cross was if you're at the game today, or if you watched it wherever you are around the world. Fordey, let's move into the midfield. Joe Willock. I've seen again a lot of people, you know, over the last few months, you know, criticize Joe Willock. I thought he was phenomenal today. He was so unlucky not to get a goal today. And there was so many times he just drives forward with the ball. Yeah. And he was a little bit unlucky not to get a goal today. And in the second half in particular, it was a great block. I think it was Ben Mee just before he got taken off. But
running ragged.
At the minute, do you think there's a reason why Eddie Howe trusts him so much that I think he's probably played the most minutes out, like in terms of outfield players for Newcastle this season? He must be up at the very top.
Yeah. You're not going to give me anything else left to say after that. he just runs teams ragged, though, isn't he? The amount of energy he has, he had something different in terms of the midfield that we have. Like Bruno, he can sit, dictate the play, but Joe Willock, like he just gives us that bags of energy, and he's like that energizer bunny that runs for days, literally. And it could be even a shout to get into the England team. You know, if he keeps this consistency, then why not? Do you know what I mean? Like this.
Do you think Southgate's looking at him?
Probably not, but at the same time, like, why not? Because again, we're top 6, dare I say it. You know,
top 5 at the minute.
Top 5. So again, like, if you're consistently playing like that and winning us games and just bags of energy, you know, ball carrying from, you know, centre midfield all the way to the top, like, why not? We haven't got to play like that.
It's a shout. I mean, back in we finished 5th in 2012. I thought Danny Guthrie should have had a shot at the England squad.
Why you got to take it there, Danny Guthrie?
Who started the chant of "We got Guthrie in the middle"? Did anybody start that chant?
No. Danny Guthrie, Jesus.
But if you want to come in the Green and Milner show, Danny.
Yeah, cool.
What would you give Joe Willock today?
Well, if I've given what's his name a 7, then he's got to get an 8.
8 for Joe Willock. I certainly agree with that. I think he was very, very unlucky not to get a goal for Newcastle United this afternoon. You can tell he was even a bit frustrated. He was like shouting, going, why we're not getting the goal? Will it be next week against Manchester United? Lee and Harry will be at Old Trafford next week.
And again, I'm going to pose a question to you. If Jonjo Shelvey's fit, does he get into this midfield?
Not right now, he doesn't. Not right now, he doesn't, in my personal opinion. Do you agree or disagree with what Fordey's just said? Do you think Jonjo Shelvey should be in the midfield 3? Because it's... Tell you what, there's a lot of people wanting those 3 positions, and I think at the minute only Bruno is a guarantee at the minute. Let's move on to that midfield. Let's talk about Bruno, Michael. We've got Bruno in the middle, Michael. He knows exactly what we need. What do we need?
Him. Just him. We've spoken about him so many times after games, like on Stowell Street in Chinatown, and he's just so good.
Why is he so good? What does he do in midfield that no other Newcastle player can do in midfield?
He sees everything in 3D. He's got eyes in the back of his head. He's got eyes on the side
of
his
head. In the first half, when he just clipped it around, I don't know who he did, but he just clipped it around the player, and the whole bar was just like that. Fucking class.
It was like that in the ground as well.
he just clipped it around, so when he just carried on moving like up the pitch, it's just so effortless.
I don't know if you watched the overlap with Gary Neville. There was one a couple of weeks ago with Paul Scholes, right? And he was in Oldham. And Paul was saying you would always get battered down if you weren't already looking to see who was around you to play the ball.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Bruno does that every single time without fail. And he knows who's there, where the space is. It doesn't matter if he's got 3 people at his back. He just knows how to play football. And he doesn't look like the most, enigmatic and effortless footballer. Fernando Torres wasn't that player. He just makes it look easy. He doesn't kick a ball particularly well. It doesn't look like that. Like if you look from his goal, he doesn't hit it cleanly. But the bloke's just amazing. And when he's got that white blonde grey hair thing, You know,
you know what I love
keep
the
it
most as
continuously.
well? When he scores, he plays up to the crowd. I love that
Oh.
shit. Like, I love the cupping of the ears. I
Yeah.
love that turning around and showing people
And-
on the back. I love that shit.
They both came from the same club, the same nationality, but I don't think you can compare Bruno and Paqueta. I really don't.
No, you can't.
No.
No.
Different levels, completely different levels.
What would you give him today, Michael?
So the only reason I'm not going to give him a 10.
What? No.
The only reason I'm not going to give him a 10 is
no.
because I'm going. If you know L'Equipe, right, in France, a score of 10.
Very rare.
You're not in
Right?
France.
A 10 is exceptionally rare.
Yeah, and I should be. Yeah.
You've got to score a hat trick. You know, assisted
bagged
3 or 4
two.
goals.
Nah, I'm with that. 10 has to be.
You're not in France.
10 is like one or
Creme de la
two.
creme. Like, he came off a little bit early to save his legs. You know,
What are you giving him?
I'm giving him a 9
You're
Nice.
because he
right.
changed the game.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
He
No,
changed
10,
the
10
game.
is like a unicorn.
Ian,
Get out.
Get out.
Ramsey, before we move on, and I'll move on to Sean Longstaff before something's broke there.
Are we still allowing that, by the way?
What,
A 9.
it's Michael's.
Are you having a laugh?
It's Michael's decision.
score.
Michael's
Listen, comment section, get onto this guy. Don't even.
A 9 is very, very good. I remember
A 9 is not a 10.
we did this after Newcastle Man City and I gave Saint-Maximin a 9. A 9 is very good, all right?
The
9
guy
is
scored
good.
2 goals.
All I'm
A
saying is
fucking long range and
40,
a
40,
diving header.
40,
Sorry.
40,
No.
40,
A
40.
10 is what you give when Kevin Nolan scores a hat trick against
40,
City, all right?
40, 40.
That's
We're
what you
not
give a
going
10.
back
40,
in time.
40.
This is today.
40. Me and you disagree on a lot of things, but if your name's Michael, you're always wrong. So do not worry about that.
I like that. See?
We'll both go there.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Ramsey, before we quickly move on to Sean Longstaff, and I'll mark that in a second, I want you to talk about Bruno because Fordey and Michael have certainly talked about Bruno for the last couple of minutes. For anybody that didn't watch the game today, why is it that he's so unique to Newcastle United? What does he give Newcastle that a Sean Longstaff doesn't give, that a Jonjo Shelvey doesn't give? And why should teams in the top 6 that we're with right now be worried?
So you want me to advertise Bruno to potential suitors? Is that what? Is that you want me to give a...
You can do that if you want.
No. Listen, what I love about Bruno is his vision is off the charts. And like you're saying, yeah, he takes that look. He looks. He doesn't... Nothing is ever sloppy with Bruno. It's always in a majestic sort of way. And I would... You know what? It's easy to draw comparisons with Yohan Cabaye, who had that in parts, but I think he's in a completely different level to even the likes of Cabaye. I mean, Cabaye left Newcastle to PSG and didn't get in the team and wound up being a Crystal Palace, piece of sludge. But Bruno, I would worry that other teams would take a look at
That's what I always worry about.
Yeah.
When he has a great game like this, I always worry.
What did
that
you say before we started about Bruno? How long he'll be here for?
2 years. I reckon if we're not in Champions League football within 2 years, he's gone. And that's
The thing is, though,
linked to Real Madrid right now.
Yeah, the thing is, though, when Man City got taken over, you could have said that about David Silva when he first came in 2010, because Man City were around that sort of where we are now, 5th, I'm pretty sure, around that time. But because Man City went in such an upwards trajectory,
Quickly.
they were able to meet Silva's needs, and he didn't have to go.
Exactly.
That's what Newcastle need to do with Bruno, because if we don't, and if we're still muddling around mid-table in 2 years' time, then he will be gone.
He's constantly tweeting out, "I miss Champions League football" and all the rest of it. Of course you are. Like, you've come from a Champions League club, albeit it's easier to get into there, via where he's playing. But
Bar PSG, you
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Newcastle need to make things, and they need to get in the top 4.
It's got to happen quickly.
Yeah, they need to. Obviously, it's not going to happen this season, but next season, top 4.
I was going to say, it's the other element of this that we've got a very defined wage structure. And to keep those players, so David Silva stayed at Man City because he was getting paid a fair whack as well. And unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do that right now. And I am concerned that at some point, somebody's going to put a bid in and go, here's 300 grand a week. Do you want to come to us? And we go, oh God. And he goes and we're left. But I think there's a little bit more there with Bruno that I've not seen with another footballer, which is a little bit of loyalty to the fan base. Maybe with a bit less with Maxi, but I kind of hope he stays for a little bit longer than 2.
Of course, I want him to stay, but again, realistically, he doesn't want to be missing out on Champions League football that much. So again, 2 years, I'd say that's enough time to be, still within the realms of staying with Newcastle or else he's out.
I mean, do you not think there's a scope for him to be paid that sort of wage at Newcastle? I mean,
money's money, but again, he's still going to be missing out his prime years in Champions League football.
He's on probably about 100 grand right now. Kieran Trippier's the top earner at Newcastle right now. So if Kieran Trippier's the top earner and Bruno's not even in terms of where Kieran Trippier is right now, I think when he looks at maybe if Newcastle aren't in Europe this time next season, then maybe you go, we're gonna have to go over the odds.
I mean,
but in terms of if Newcastle are saying that in the Europa League next season or the Conference League, then maybe you could go, well, we're in the Europa League Conference League now. Give us another season or two more seasons. We'll give you more money. We'll give you an extra contract. It might work, but
I mean, would it be the badly enforced FFP rules, which mean that we wouldn't pay, 250K for?
I think the money thing will only get us so far. Like, I think it's the fact that, okay, are we showing willing that we're signing players of his caliber? Because that's what we need. We can't be going for championship players. Hence, to back when I was saying about João Pedro, check it out. It's on the channel if you haven't seen it already.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, they know. I know they know. But again, this is what I was trying to say. Like, we need to be signing players of that caliber. This is the reason why I'm glad we signed an Isak, because he's coming from a Champions League worthy sort of club, that sort of ilk. But again, we need to keep maintaining those sort of players. Otherwise, we're going to lose him.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. We've talked about Bruno so much. Tell us in the comments what you make of Bruno. We'll put out the best comments on this YouTube video. We're going to move on to Sean Longstaff. Very fortunate. I know it's slightly irrelevant because obviously it didn't go in, but Sean Longstaff was the man to lose the ball in which Brentford got the goal, which was disallowed by VAR. That was kind of like a wake-up call for the whole team, but probably more for him as well.
Now you want to start including the goal that was disallowed. Oh, right.
Hold on. Did you hear me say the word irrelevant?
No, but when you were saying, it's offside, it was offside. I was like, okay, cool, it was offside, but now he wants to bring it up. Okay.
Did you hear me say irrelevant?
See when it's relevant to his argument, I'm just saying.
Did you hear me say irrelevant or not?
No, he just
there we go.
But why did you bring it up then if it's irrelevant?
Because it's an interesting fact. Right.
See, people.
No, but it was good to see him on the score sheet last week. Going into this week, I do feel like he got into the game 15, 20 minutes. I didn't think anyone really did that bad today. I think it was, especially in the second half, he has got an eye for a pass. There was a couple of passes that he was looking towards Callum Wilson as well and towards Miguel Miron. There was some good football between the three of them at times, which was nice to see. I'd go 7 out of 10 for Sean Longstaff today. I don't think he was always nowhere near Bruno's level, nowhere near Willock's level. He was probably the harshest, poorest of the three today. But again, if he's putting consistent performances in, he isn't going to be out of that midfield three. He starts against Manchester United next week. You don't change that 3D, Ramsey.
Is he keeping Joelinton at the team though? Really? I know we weren't with the same team.
Are you Ramsey or not?
I'm getting him. He knows.
Look, he's wearing black and white. Oh, wait. Is Sean Longstaff? Is Sean Longstaff? Is Sean Longstaff?
Yeah, it's true. Actually. Yeah. Magpie blood.
Exactly. Is Sean Longstaff starting for Newcastle next week against Manchester?
With Joelinton on the bench, by the way.
Yeah, he will. He will because it's in vogue to keep a winning team, all right? And who no.
In the bar, let me remind you, what did you say?
Yeah, I said, why are they keeping a winning? I don't get this whole thing about keeping a winning team.
See, I might be old people, but I still got a good memory.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. They're going to stick with Longstaff. No, I would have.
But I would ask you for your.
Yeah, no, I would.
Eddie Howe. Yes,
I would have Joelinton in there because last Christmas Joelinton was man of the match against Man United. He absolutely ran that midfield ragged.
That's the question.
He absolutely ran that midfield ragged and spawned a Joelinton video on the channel.
Joelinton come on for what? 20 minutes, got an assist. All right.
No, yeah, I'd have Joelinton in there too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is the reason why I'm smart and I'm the voice of reason.
Well, maybe they want to play Sean Longstaff because Man United want to pay 50 million or want to pay 50 million. They want to get some peas.
The one thing I will say about Sean Longstaff in terms of a low block, he is very good defensively at a low block. And say Newcastle are ahead with 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go. He's not a bad player to have in that position because he does his job very, very well. Eddie Howe certainly trusts him forward. And
this Longstaff playing the six, though.
You cannot
playing the six.
You cannot play Sean Longstaff in the six.
Remember that, guys. If you don't know the joke, watch which video was it? Lee? Was it Crystal Palace? You don't play Elliot Anderson in the six.
I was saying
Longstaff in the six.
You kept saying that over and over again. I think he's not getting it. He's not getting it.
No, for me, I would want to play Sean Longstaff in the six, but I don't think that's his position. I think actually I've kept on saying this. He's been played like a number 8 for a lot of years, but I honestly think he's a number 10. I've been saying that for a long time.
Number 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I understand why you're going to disagree because of what you've seen in a Newcastle shirt most of his career, but in a number 10 is what he did going up through the academy, going up in loan spells to Blackpool and X, Y, and Z. And he did have a couple of games in that position. And I remember the Bournemouth game, which was years ago now, but he did play as a number 10 there. And you did see the best of him. I understand that to get him in the team, he's not going to be the number 10 because he isn't good enough in terms of the other players around him.
So
and he's been playing as number 8.
He doesn't really strike me as the Jordi Kaka in
No, but I think that's harsh because I think that's harsh because you've got
the Jordi Kaka.
No, but I think that is harsh because Sean Longstaff for me, I think he sometimes gets a lot of unfair criticism, and especially when we're 5-1 today, people are still going to go, "Oh, he was the shittest midfielder out of the 3," and that's been super critical today. So I think that's harsh.
I'll throw this one at you then, Johnny. Would you like to see Longstaff still in the squad in 2 years' time?
I don't think he will be, but from a Newcastle fan, as a Geordie lad, yes, I would like to see him there, because if he is, then he's certainly improved under Eddie Howe, and he's at a level that we can trust him potentially at a, let's say, top 6 or top 4 if Newcastle can get there. So yes, I would like to see him there, but do I see that right now? 30% chance that he will be.
He's a cracking squad player. He's absolutely him. If you look at it where we're at now, him, Willock, are probably the 2 weaker links of the 3 that we, of the pool of players we've got to play in the middle of the park. They're the 2. I think Willock is the stronger player out of the 2 of them. And I think in 2 or 3 years' time, you probably would say they're probably in towards the back end of the 25. But for now, they're absolutely perfect for what we need. But you're comparing them against Bruno and Joelinton. And Joelinton's like some sort of he's resurrected from the dead.
It's like Jesus, isn't he?
Yeah, where's he come from? Or Cristo Redento from Rio de Janeiro. But it's harsh. You judge them against a Dacia against a Land Rover, and it's hard.
So you reckon then Longstaff could be like what James Milner was to Man City then?
Yeah, utility player.
Is that a bad thing?
No,
it's not. No, you need those players in every squad. It's just I would have reservations over whether Longstaff could even be that. Like James Milner was still a fantastic player. I don't know if Longstaff can get it. If we want to be at the level of a top 4 club.
We'll certainly see.
If you called him a Geordie Kaka, I would say he's a Geordie McTominay. That's
we'll see. It will be McTominay. It'll probably more than likely it's going to be McTominay versus Longstaff next week at Old Trafford. Now I've mentioned Lee and Harry will be there next week, so make sure you keep an eye on all the videos from Newcastle Fans TV at Old Trafford. Ramsey, Jacob Murphy is for you. A winger that runs a lot and not a lot of end product. Managed to get a goal today. Can you can you talk about him and maybe mention yourself in that?
He does sound like he's got Irish blood as well, doesn't he? Somewhere going back there. He's got some Galway granddad somewhere. All right.
Ramsey, can I quickly mention as well? Allan Saint-Maximin was on the bench today. Do you think there was an added pressure on him as well today?
On Murphy? Well, yeah, but I mean, was there really pressure though? Because he's not gonna have the spot for long. No, I don't really think so. I think
Eddie Howe is more loyal to him. Say, look, you've had the shirt for this game against Fulham. Here you go. Here's the shirt again.
I would have had some Maximin in today. I know there's questions about the fitness issues and stuff, and maybe he need to be bedded in. But all right, then if not today, then absolutely against Man United. Jesus Christ, get some Maximin back in that team. He's the closest, most devastating player going forward. Jacob Murphy, we've had him for years. I was saying the 40 in the pub. He would always, because you were not as big a Rafa advocate as pretty much every other Newcastle fan. You'd always find ways of picking faults with him. And Jacob Murphy was always
there's a Rafa tattoo on his neck. I can see it.
No. Jacob Murphy was always the player you would name as Rafa doesn't know transfers.
I know Rafa was seen as Jesus reincarnated and all the rest of it up here, but. Listen, he fucked up sometimes with the signings. So
Ivan Toney's the perfect example.
Tony, there you go. Went and scored against us. Flipping Murphy. We spent like 12 million on him.
Now we're having to beg Ivan Toney to come back in the car park. It's.
You know what I'm saying?
Ivan, will you?
Ivan Toney, if you're watching, please come back. Wave. It's all forgiven.
Ramsey, what would you give Jacob Murphy today?
I'd give him a 7.5. Give him a 7.5. Yeah, got his goal. Right,
he nearly missed that, by the way.
No, he didn't.
He nearly missed. Guys, watch it on that channel.
He didn't nearly miss. He didn't really miss.
He nearly missed.
Fordey, a quick question on Jacob Murphy. Yeah. I know you said you want Allan Saint-Maximin back in for the Manchester United game, but with Newcastle playing 3 games in a week, Jacob Murphy's arguably going to start one of those games.
Not the one against Man United.
If that's the case, who would you start Jacob Murphy against out of those 3 teams? We've got Manchester United next Sunday, Everton a week on Wednesday, and then Spurs the following Sunday.
Everton makes sense.
Why? Who's the best chance we're get a win from?
No, but Everton are the weaker out of the 3.
So wouldn't you start your better players?
Yeah, against Man United, start ASM. Against Tottenham, start ASM. Against Everton, who's shit, play fucking Jacob Murphy.
Is Jacob Murphy enough to beat Everton?
Remember what ASM did to Everton last season?
Exactly.
At home.
Listen, if you're giving Jacob Murphy a lifeline because he scored today, you start him against Everton. But in my eyes, I wouldn't start him at all. I'd start my better players against all of them.
Can Allan Saint-Maximin play 3 games in a row without getting injured?
I don't know. That's like a Callum Wilson situation, isn't
Just
it?
take him off after an hour.
There you go.
Take him off
Damage
after an hour.
done, 60 minutes, run them raggeds, bring Jacob Murphy on, hopefully he does something, and then that's it. But hopefully we won the game by 60 minutes and sharp shot. That's it.
Mike, where do you sit on this debate?
You agree
It's
with me.
a tough one because even I said today when we were in the pub, you wanted Maxi to start. I said, not a chance in hell, purely because you don't want to risk him going into the
Can I
United
just
game.
quickly correct you? I did want Allan Saint-Maximin to start, but I said Eddie Howe would start at Jacob Murphy today.
Yeah, you were playing logical with that.
Yes.
But in your head, you were desperately wanting Maxi to start. And I'm thinking, he's going to be an impact sub today. He was wrapped up like a mummy midweek in training for whatever reason. You've got to play him against Man United. I genuinely think we can go and do them there. And that's a statement of intent for the rest of the season, isn't it?
Come on,
Like, if
come
we
on,
can do
Michael.
them-
You're going in the dressing room.
They're there for the taking, man.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And I think this is where we are. We are class. And this is the uncomfortable
But I like
realization.
this. Listen, I like this confidence.
Yeah.
I don't like going into games thinking, we might get something. No.
Yeah.
Especially at home, we're taking 3 points. This is why I'm so devastated when against Palace and Bournemouth and stuff, we're not taking 3 points. Today-
You're one of those. You're one of those people that's still looking at how many points we're ahead of the bottom 3, aren't you?
No.
But-
Not at all.
We're only 27 points ahead of the bottom 3. Honestly, you need to be careful. Be careful what you wish for,
We're
Newcastle
going back
fans.
to it. There's an uncomfortable realization that we've got to get comfortable with as Newcastle fans. We are very good.
We are.
Right? We should be going at that Everton game thinking if we 3 points minimum at home, 1 point is,
we
is
have
the
to.
drawback.
We have to start thinking about this arrogance now. Like we can't just go into games thinking,
Right.
a point will do. No, fuck it, a point won't do at home. Especially we're taking
So-
3 points. This is our house.
So on Maxi, I'd play Maxi against Man United, see where you stand. And then against Everton, it's probably the game you would probably play Jacob Murphy out with the two of them. Just because there's probably more of a chance that you're going to do what you did today against Brentford, against Everton. And then Spurs away, it's probably the more difficult game of the 3. Put Maxi in, set them racing, get that. It's like putting a fox into a chicken coop. Just like make them all go fly. And that's
I
what
like
we
this
need.
guy. You should hang out with him more. Yeah.
But
Hang out with them a lot.
too much.
Fordey, let's move on to Miggy Almiron. What a game he played last week. Did he continue that form this week?
That's what I want to see. Like I've been probably one of his biggest critics over the years. Doesn't take enough chances. From the get-go, he was ruthless. Taking shots. I think the first save David Raya made, he did make a lot of them. But again, that was Miggy Almiron. And then obviously got on the score sheet, albeit a tap-in. But that was what you want to see. The ruthlessness, driving at players. None of this tiki-taka wanting to fucking... your algorithm's fucked, by the way, but I'm going to keep swearing. But just driving forward, that's the Miggy Almiron that you want to see. When Saint-Maximin is out the team, you want someone to take the ball by the horns and just drive at players, and that was Miggy Almiron today. And that's the reason why he could get a 9. In fact, I'm going to give him a 9 because I'm looking at you because I'm still upset by giving Bruno a 9. But I'm going to give Miggy a 9. Bruno should have a 10, by the way. I'm just saying.
Ramsey,
But-
was Miggy the same as Bruno today?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
So Fordey was wrong then?
No,
I'm afraid so, yes.
He's
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong because he should have given Bruno a 10 and then Miggy should get a 9. That's it.
No, in all seriousness, he got the goal today, Miggy, and look, there's certainly a confidence there with Miggy at the minute, and you can't drop him at the minute.
Does he?
Better than Grealish as
Does
well,
he
by
have
the
more?
way.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he have a lot more goals, Grealish, this
A
year?
lot
A lot
more.
more
Grealish.
in 2022?
You fucked up, Grealish.
Yeah.
Four goals for Miguel Almiron already, Ramsey.
Yeah.
4 goals is actually his best in the Premier League season for Newcastle.
That's
So
mental.
I'd like to think he'll break that unless he has a really
Well,
bad
you know what,
injury.
Johnny? I think you were the perfect person to answer this question because you were Almiron's biggest critic by far. I think it was what?
No,
two-
I was.
no, I think
he
it
was the one who's like,
No.
oh my God, don't say about my Miggy. I was like, yo, Miggy.
No,
ain't doing
I
shit.
think it was about 2 weeks ago. I doing the podcast and I wrote in saying that your keys were lost and then Johnny said, "Oh, Ramsey, oh, he's a bit like Miggy Almiron, all skills and tricks, but absolutely no end
He
product."
tried to dig you out.
Yeah.
He tried. Yeah.
Since then, Almiron's got 3 goals. So,
wow.
yeah, and I haven't been doing too badly either, Johnny. So,
That's awkward.
So what did you do on Monday?
I wasn't there.
No, but also, it's a good point. I think with Miguel Almiron, I think we can all agree on this is consistency. We need consistency out of him, and we really do need to get more goals from him. I still want him to use his right foot more. Please use your right foot more. Even today, there was a couple of occasions where if you even cross it with your right foot, you never know. Look at Joelinton's goal, for example. So we'll wait and see. But in terms of Miguel Almiron, did you give a score?
I gave him 9.
9 out of 10. You did, yeah.
It's a big one.
So yeah, Miguel Almiron gets a 9 out of 10. Is he the man in form for Newcastle United? Is he on better form than Bruno? Tell us in the comments right now. Michael Callum Wilson, he wants to end up playing for Qatar. It was him against Tony today, really, wasn't it? So I know Tony got the goal. Do you think, I'm going to say this, do you think Callum Wilson was slightly quiet even though he got the 1 assist today?
He was quiet. It wasn't his greatest game in a black and white shirt, granted. But if you look in overall play, what he did, he bullied their centre-backs for most of the game. He, provided the assist for Jacob Murphy. He arguably had, well, actually, no, not arguably. He definitely had a better game than Ivan Toney in totality. But he didn't get on a score sheet. He
It's a great opportunity, though.
He really did. And I'll put the score out there straight away. I'm going to go 7, which I think is a fair score for what he did in the overall scheme of the game. I think I'm probably a little bit skewed on the overinflated score for Dan Burn, but we'll go back to that in another time. But he contributes, and we were chatting again before the game. He provides a different dynamic to Isak, which is when teams are sitting a little bit deeper, like maybe a Brentford or a Fulham or a Bournemouth may do. He provides the space. He takes the ball down. He holds it up, which Isak can't do. And he did that today. So he created the space for the likes of Bruno, for Miggy, for even Jacob Murphy to go and isolate, that wing, the fullbacks, and they did very well because of it. So 7's fair. What do you think?
I agree with the score. I think 40. The one thing I will say is, even though goals make games, the fact that Callum Wilson still had the alertness to see that Jacob Murphy's in a better position.
He wanted to take that opportunity, though.
I know, but
he wanted to.
He wanted to, but to think of the team, Jacob Murphy's in a better position shows where Callum Wilson is, in my opinion.
I'm going to throw one back to you, though. Does Isak get into this team with Wilson in the team? Now that we've got both strikers.
I don't get paid enough money for that decision, I don't think. If I did, if I get that sort of money, I will answer that question. I think right now, you don't drop Callum Wilson at the minute, but Isak, we've seen what he's done in 3 games, 2 goals. Yes, 1 was a penalty, but give him time. Let's see what happens. But I think we all kind of will look at it. Callum Wilson's proven. Callum Wilson is the man.
I just hope that he continues his fine run of form, because with when you get that new contract, it's happened time and time again. Like Aubameyang, when he got his contract, for example, you just switch off, sort of thing. You've got your big contract, because again, look, he's getting to that time of his career as well. So hopefully we don't lose that run of form that Callum Wilson will be on now. He's got that big contract. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens. So the first substitute for Newcastle was Joelinton. He was training all week last week, but was on the bench. But he's training all week this week and came off the bench. I got the assist for the 5th goal. We'll count it as a half goal for Joelinton. Why not? Because we're nice like that. But yeah, I thought he was fine when he came on a day. There will obviously be that argument between him and Sean Longstaff at the minute. I think Bruno and Joe Willock are certainly. Bruno for sure is definitely not starting 11. That's starting that 3 midfield. Joe Willock for me, he's saying, look, I'm definitely in that midfield. So there is one space up for grabs. Joelinton certainly didn't do a lot wrong today.
Play Elliot Anderson as a 6.
I'm sick of this guy already. I'm going to go 7 out of 10 for Joelinton today. He came on for a particular job. He obviously started on the left and then pushed back into midfield when Maxi came on, but yeah, steady from Joelinton, and obviously got the assist, so brilliant for him. I was going to say we're going to mark one more player. So Ramsey, Allan Saint-Maximin was one more player we're going to mark before we go on to Eddie Howe, because the other 3 are non-applicable. Good to see Maxi back, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Great to see him on, doing his thing. Bit of flash dribbles on the wing. But again, I find it so hard marking substitutes, because they're not long enough to really, affect the game that much. I don't know. I'll give him a 7.5. He was typical Maxi, isn't he?
Typical Maxi. 40, let's start with Eddie Howe. We'll all try and agree on the score. So give your score first and then why. 5-1 at home against a difficult Brentford. So I think these are a good team. Like Ramsey's mentioned, that these are a good team. Considering the fact that they have been heavily beaten today. I don't think.
All right.
No, and what I mean.
Your local team, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they are.
No noise from the Cockney boys. There's certainly noise from you today. No, in all seriousness, what I mean by that is that I don't think Brentford are going to be relegated this season. I think they're going to be somewhere between 11th and 14th this season, which is probably where they should be. So, in terms of the actual team we were playing, the performance by by the majority of the players, if not all the players, Eddie Howe is certainly happy with a big smile on his face, leaving St. James's Park today.
No, of course. Like score-wise, I'm giving him a 9. I don't know if you lot agree, but fuck you lot anyway. I'm still giving him, still giving him a 9.
Coming out swinging.
No, I'm aiming at you. No, I'll still give him a 9. But it's hard to argue. Like, he got it right, got the win, albeit we did concede, obviously, from a penalty. But listen, back-to-back wins, 9 goals scored in 2 games. Like, things are going smoothly. But I don't want to come across too harsh. But again, we expect to win these games, but we've won them. So, yeah, it's a 9 for me. Like, it's hard to argue. You know what I mean? So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Michael Austin. 9 out of 10. Is that harsh? But considering we've just won 5 on the home.
9 out of 10, is that harsh?
I mean, you give Bruno a 10, but you wouldn't give Eddie,
Hold on. The question's for him, not for you.
Based on my own score, no, honestly, I think 9's fair. I mean, he did everything he could do, and the key bit for me is we didn't come up with any injuries. That's the big bonus. If you look at what we've had over the last kind of 6 weeks, a significant number of our kind of first 11 and our better players in that first 11 have come out with injuries. We haven't. He's played it sensible by not starting Maxi. I think, 9's bloody fair.
Ramsey, do you go on the 9 train, or are you going to put your balls on the table and say 10 out of 10? Because
10 out of 10, boys. no, 9 out of 10. I'm the same as you. I very rarely give out 10s, all right? Like L'Equipe, keep that for a Champions League final winner, right? A masterclass. 5-1 over Brentford, that's a 9. That's a 9. That's not 10, all right? That's a 9 out of 10. 9. Sorry, Johnny.
I was going to 9.5, and the only reason why we haven't got a 10 is because the reason why I was going to go 9.5, because literally the only reason why he doesn't get a 10 is because we conceded the way we did. And I do think Brentford started slightly better than Newcastle that day. But in terms of everything in regards to Newcastle United and Eddie Howe got the team right. He got the substitutes right when we needed to. And he certainly got the best out of Bruno. And you look at the 2 goals, man of the match performance, everyone's going to be talking about him today.
And isn't it so refreshing that we got him and not Unai Emery, who would have been
Yeah, but Sam Milner said Unai Emery, so you don't have to listen to him. Don't worry about that. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Milner. But in all seriousness, I think Eddie Howe got absolutely spot on today. I think again, Thomas Frank talked about the pressing in terms of Newcastle's pressing in his pre-match press conference through the week. And it's certainly paid dividends with 2 of the goals today, especially the Miggy goal. And this is like 70th minute. So it makes a massive difference. It shows that Newcastle have trained a lot harder than they did under the previous manager, and it's certainly paying dividends.
How's the previous manager doing?
He drew 0-0 with Luton today.
Probably
on his way out.
Oh, was it? Where are they in the league? Just curiosity.
Bottom of the championship. Some know all about that, I think.
Oh, okay.
They got me as well. If you want to know that, something got me as well. But I think 9 out of 10 is probably the obviously I've been overruled slightly, but I'm not gonna grumble too much. But 9 out of 10 for Mr. Howe. Well, what a score in the players we have had. A lot of debate, even though Newcastle won 5-1 against Brentford. That just tells you how good of a season so far has been for Newcastle United.
How Bruno didn't get a 10, I don't know. But anyway.
Exactly. I agree with that, but don't have to listen to everybody here. But it's been a fantastic day on Newcastle Fans TV, and it's been a fantastic day in St. James's Park. There's been a match watch and a watch along. The last word will be out later tonight, so make sure you give that a watch as well. Like this video and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV. Lee and Harry will be at Old Trafford next week as Newcastle take on Manchester United with three big games, 3 busy games, 3 busy games in general when you look at the teams that we've got to face as well, and a busy week for Newcastle United. So like and subscribe, as I mentioned. A big thanks to Ramsey, a big thanks to Fordey, a big thanks to Michael Lawson. See you all very soon.